Hello everybody, this is Thunder Coasters here on my Thunder Coasters YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving you a comprehensive review of Railblazer at California's Great America. So how reviews are going to be going on this channel is that I'm going to do it completely unscripted, no notes, no previous recordings or anything like that. It's just going to be my full thoughts on the coaster. So to give you a comprehensive think of what I love about this coaster, first of all, this coaster is amazing. It's relentless from start to finish. It's got incredible pacing. It does not feel like you slow down at any part of the ride. The airtime is crazy. It's whippy, it's snappy, the inversions are amazing. The whole ride is just really good. So if you look on my top 25, a list that will be coming out pretty soon. On my top 100, you could see that I put the number 4 over this. That is because it is my fourth favorite coaster on my top 25 list, only over X2, Skyrush, and the King, Twisted Colossus. So if you want to go from the ride experience from the start to the finish, you start out with a 106-foot lift hill, which is actually extremely steep. You don't see it when you're looking at the ride, but when you're on it, it is an extremely steep lift. And again, like most RMCs, it would be beneficial if you sat in the back row, because the back row, you get whipped over that 90-degree drop. And can we talk about that drop for a second? The drop is insane. It's not a pretty big drop. It's only about 100 feet, but it is definitely a strong drop. And if you're in the back, it whips you over that like there is no tomorrow. And then right after that, you go into a tunnel, which is actually a pretty cool effect if you're trying to edit videos for this, because the tunnel gives you a really, really nice transition point. But then after that, you go into the dive loop, which some people don't consider it an inversion. I do, because if you look at it, it definitely goes upside down while it's still up. But at the top of the dive loop, you get some insane airtime. The whole ride has just some insane airtime from start to finish. So then you go up to the dive loop and you get that airtime, and then you whip around, which gives you some really, really nice whip. It gives you the feel of like a non-inverting loop, how it whips you around during that airtime at the top, like on DC Rivals. But then right after that comes the most insane moment of airtime on the entire ride. That is the off-axis airtime hill. That moment right there is the most insane, strongest airtime that I've ever experienced on any roller coaster that I have ever ridden, ever. It definitely isn't my favorite part of the ride, but it's second favorite. It's number 2. And we're getting to my number 1 in just a second. So after that huge airtime moment, you go into my favorite part of the ride. It's like a half Helix S bend into a drop-off. That drop-off, it's not as insane airtime as Offaxis Airtime Hill, but it gives some insane airtime nonetheless. And I love it because there's also that hand chopper right there made by one of the supports. And it's not really easy to explain. It's just a really, really fun element that you go through, and it gives you really, really nice intensity, and it's a really, really cool moment. And then finally, you have the last 4 elements. You have a cutback over the station, which is a pretty cool inversion. A very slow-moving, nice hang time 0G roll, which is actually 0 Gs. And then you go through what I consider to be one of the only cons of this ride, which is the banked turn right before the brake run. Because if you've ridden Railblazer a ton of times like I have, you'll notice that that part is kind of rough. And not like, no, not grizzly rough. Like, it's fine. Like, if you ride it for the first time, it's not going to be completely noticeable. But after a while, you notice it. And then you have another super strong moment of airtime right before you go into the brake run. There's a little airtime moment going into the brakes, and that part gives you some crazy ejector. The first time I rode it in the back row, I was literally left almost standing after that moment. It was a really, really good moment. Now, going on to the cons of this ride. This ride is definitely not rough by any means. There are some rough patches, but for the most part, it's an extremely smooth ride, except for that bank turn right at the end. That is kind of rough. And the other con that I have with this ride are the restraints. Some people hate these restraints because they're super restricting and you can't really get a lot of airtime with that. I found that not to be the case. Yes, they were restricting, but it didn't ever fully take away from the ride itself. Alright, that's it for my Railblazer review. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more videos from Thunder Coasters. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.